We've been reporting on the powerful impact of monster storm Irma, and one of the small islands that took a direct hit is Anguilla in the Leeward Islands, where my mother's family is actually from. Our family members living there and my close friends I've grown up with visiting each summer sent me these pictures now as soon as they could of that devastation. It is heartbreaking, folks. Take a look at this. You have houses with roofs blown off like this one. This is what my family and folks are waking up to this morning after the storm unleashed those winds. They believe they were about 180 miles an hour or so. They were telling us that the eye wall actually bombarded them at about 8 yesterday morning. Now, many of them are without power. There's extreme flooding there to homes like this, and that's from the rain and also water from the ocean. There's so many churches on the island. It's known for that, to have a lot of history there. You can see they're heavily damaged with roofs blown off. This one is called the Bethel Methodist Church. It's over 130 years old, and you can look straight through it. Street after street has downed wires, making many of these roads unpassable, and also businesses there are not going to be able to operate for quite some time, with trees having fallen on the power lines. So a lot of hotels suffering damage. That's a mainstay of their economy. You can see right there where a palm tree has fallen into the pool, and that's a typical scenario. They're telling me that you can see. So Jason, this is so bad across, as we've been saying, St. Martin, Barbuda, Antigua, all of those islands. People are devastated with very little help. And even what broke my heart is when my cousin called and said, we had a generator,
right,
we were prepared, but now we have to cook all the food we have before it spoils.
Well, really, how do you prepare for something like that? And I know yesterday was a really difficult day for you as you were trying to get a hold of your family. Thank goodness they're safe.
Yeah, thank you for all the prayers and everybody. And this affects, of course, our folks in Florida, Texas.
Absolutely.
We really feel this, and we hate to be the story, but this one, I feel, hits me so close to home.
And it is the real deal as well. I want to show you one more photo. We've been talking about the intense winds as the storm hit Anguilla yesterday. We're talking winds of 185 miles per hour, gusting to over 200, and you can see a shot from a hotel window on the western part of the island, all the debris flying around. You can see a damaged house off into the distance. So it's awful there after the storm passed on through. And those winds are sustained right now. We're still talking winds at 180, so it's still a Category 5 as it's down in the Atlantic. Well, let's track this real quick for you. It's going to hit Turks and Caicos later on today, still as a Category 5, and it stays a Category 5 through Saturday morning. Now, after Saturday morning, it becomes a very strong Category 4. Category 5 is winds anything over 156. So on Sunday morning, the winds are still 150. So it's basically still a Category 5. Now, Miami looks like it could be in line for a direct hit. We'll, of course, keep tabs on that. Looks like it makes a second landfall as a Category 3 in Georgia and South Carolina before eventually becoming a Category 1 on Tuesday. We're also tracking two other hurricanes. Let's start with Jose. Jose, just behind Irma in the Atlantic, winds at 90 miles an hour as a Category 1, becomes a Category 3 by Saturday over the Lesser Antilles, and then it becomes a Category 2 and a Category 1, then a tropical storm as we get into early next week. And Katia is in the Gulf of Mexico as a Category 1, winds at 80 miles an hour. That becomes a Category 2 Saturday, and then by Sunday and Monday, it's back down basically to a tropical depression. But of course, we'll keep our eyes on all that stuff.